what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Warriors Den, and here we are, back with Rival Talk, starting a new season, getting ready for training camp. So you know the drill, we know we have Marcus on with us. So Marcus, good to be back and getting ready for the new season.
Yes, it is. I can't wait.
Yep. So obviously we don't have anything to do as far as picks go right now, but we'll generally just be like kind of somewhat of a football podcast, if you want to call it that, besides just picks. But we'll just get started with going over training camp in this first couple episodes. So what Rival Talk's going to look like this year, obviously we have a new name now. Last year was Warriors Picks. That's because that's how it started and just stuck with that throughout the year. But now we have it as Rival Talk, fitting me being a Seahawks fan, Mark's Niners fan. So very creative on that end. But this year, so right now until the season starts, we'll have, I want to say including this one, we'll have 4 of these, just going over training camp and the preseason games, giving some predictions as well. And then once we get to the season, we'll have, the usual picks. It'll be a little different this year. We'll get more into that when we get to that point, when the season starts, how the picks are going to look. We will have Pooch picks back this year. I'm sure you all love that. So we'll see if Henry can keep his crown on that one.
He's excited. He's ready.
I bet he is. I bet he's ready for all those snacks. But we'll get into it here. Today, we'll start with a couple tidbits of news. So today, just very recent news. Marcus, I'm sure you're a fan of this. Fred Warner. I don't know the full details of the deal. I think, what was it, a 3-4 year deal he inked with the Niners?
5 years, $90 million, if I remember. I know it averaged out to $18 million a year, so the highest paid middle linebacker at the moment.
So good deal for him. Even though he plays the Niners, I respect him. He's a really good linebacker. So I'd put him at probably number 2, right behind Bobby. So.
Yeah, they're 2 of the only linebackers that kind of do everything. They don't no weaknesses.
No. So that's a good deal for him and the Niners. Other news, of course, Aaron Rodgers. This is still ongoing. He turned down a contract that would have made him the highest paid quarterback. So we know now it's not about money. It's about what's around him and how he feels about the organization now. So it just does not look good for the Packers out there.
Nope, it's getting dicey.
Yeah, it's very dicey as we're starting training camp, so we'll see what happens. What do the Packers report probably next week or something? So we'll see what happens if he reports at all or not. So I know he didn't show up to any of the mini camps, I don't think. So
I can't imagine he'll show up, but I'll be looking forward to seeing what happens.
Yeah, so I hope that falls apart for the Packers.
Hey, me too.
And then other news, really kind of bad news. I know it's a division rival, but still you hate to see this kind of stuff. Cam Akers, Rams running back, tearing his Achilles. That was going to be a tough pick for me in fantasy too. Just sucks for him and sucks for the Rams because Darrell Henderson and Malcolm Brown are good, but they're not carry the load good. So we'll see what they do if they bring in one of the free agents that are remaining, or if they just decide to roll with those 2. But tough break for Cam Akers. He was a really good young running back, and he was probably ready to take another step this year. And just unfortunate they had to go and tear his Achilles there.
Yep, hate those injuries. He was looking like a definite, top 10 running back in the NFL at the end of last year. He was
for sure.
Pretty good.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see what the Rams do there. That does impact my Rams prediction. We'll get to that in a few episodes when we get to the NFC West. So we'll kick it off talking about training camp. It's going to be starting here real soon. So Marcus, why don't you start us off? Talk about the Niners. What are you looking forward to from Niners camp?
Sure. Yeah, I don't got a whole lot of info at the moment since nothing started yet. But a couple things I would like to just see what the health of a couple players are. Specifically, Jalen Hurd, who's a wide receiver that I think is a huge stud, but he's been injured his first full 2 seasons, and I've talked about him for 2 years now, and he's just never been out there. So it's getting less likely and less likely that he's going to make an impact. But I think if he can just get healthy and stay out there, he'd be pretty good. And then D Ford, our outside linebacker / defensive end, who makes a lot of money. Who knows what's going on with his back and his knee, but those 2 players, I'd like to see what their health is like.
Yeah, not to cut you off, but just on the Jalen Hurd topic, if I remember correctly, 2 years ago you say he was going to be better than DK Metcalf.
Yeah. Well, I might have said that he would have better stats that first year, yes.
Just so that's on the record there.
Yep. Well, we'll never know because he tore his ACL 2 years in a row, and now he's so far behind that, and clearly DK is better. So I'll just admit that now.
Fair enough. All right.
And I'm looking forward to seeing what the running back room shakes out to be. We got a lot of running backs right now, even losing Jeff Wilson Jr. to a torn MCL. He'll be back mid-season, but got Raheem Mostert, the rookie Trey Sermon, another rookie Elijah Mitchell, and Wayne Gallman. So we got 4 guys. I don't know if they'll keep all 4 of them or what.
Yeah, I forgot you guys got Sermon.
Yeah, I think he could. I mean, if Mostert goes down again, which he seems to always get hurt, Sermon will definitely be the bell cow back.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to be pretty awesome in this offense. So looking forward to that running back room, and then also just seeing what the quarterback reps shake out to be. I've heard they're going to be pretty even between the two because he wants to legitimately see if Shanahan wants to legitimately see if Trey Lance is ready. But I think it's going to be Jimmy. That would be my guess, but we shall see on that too.
That would be something if Trey ends up beating out Jimmy. But I wouldn't
I
be surprised.
can't imagine it'll happen, but it'll definitely be interesting to keep tabs on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's probably the quarterback room is probably one of the hot topics all around the NFL. What's going to go on in San Francisco?
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't like it. That's for sure. It's not one of those things I enjoy. The quarterback drama. I just want it to be settled, and I'm guessing in a year or 2 it will be. But for now, it really isn't.
Mm-hmm. Worst comes to worst, Trey wins a job and you trade Jimmy to New England. That would be the worst case scenario.
Oh, yeah. I could see that, but then I also think that they got a pretty decent quarterback back there. I know I didn't want Mac Jones, but I didn't think he sucked, so who knows?
He's in the right situation for him. That's it.
He sure is. And then you had mentioned 3 players to watch. I kind of picked my initial 3 for both training camp, not maybe to watch for the preseason, and mostly to watch going forward in the season as well. And I got number 3. I got this guy, Aaron Banks, who's an offensive guard that we drafted. I think he's going to take that guard job immediately as a rookie and run with it. He reminds me of the guy you guys drafted out of LSU last year. I kind of forget his name.
Damian Lewis.
That guy, yes. He's the same type of player, just kind of a big mauler, and I think he's going to be awesome. Number 2, I got a combination, just a couple guys on the defensive line I need to see take some steps. Javon Kinlaw, our defensive tackle, number 1 pick from last year, and Samson Ebukam, who's a defensive end edge rusher that we got from the Rams. They both need to produce because if Bosa's healthy, which he should be, he'll produce. Armstead's okay. I mean, he is what he is. He's not great. He's not bad. But those 2 guys are what we're going to need some legit production from to get that defensive line back to top-notch form. And then number 1, my boy, one of my favorite players, I think Brandon Ayuk is a wide receiver 1 in the making. And I think he's going to have a huge year. And I think he's better than Deebo Samuel. They're very different players, so it's kind of hard to like. Ayuk's a legit, wide out.
He's
wide
more
receiver.
physical.
And Debo's kind of everything. He runs, passes, does short passes, but Ayuk's that wide receiver number 1 in the making, if you ask me.
Yeah, I can see that. I agree.
So those are my 3.
Yeah, I think for you, we're going to hear it all throughout the season. Health. That's going to be the biggest factor.
Yeah, I don't even really want to think about it because that's always the killer of the 49ers season. And a lot of team seasons, but it seems just to hit the 49ers harder than most.
Yeah, I mean,
sometimes.
knock on wood over here, but I doubt it can get worse than it was last year.
I can't imagine it, but it could be the same, and that's still pretty terrible.
Yeah. Well, for the sake of good games and competition, I hope you guys stay healthy. So.
Yeah, well, thanks for that. I believe you.
All right, so, on the Seahawks end of things, so the first thing I'll be keeping an eye on, looking at, and watching interviews to see what they're talking about is the offense. What it's going to look like now going forward. Shane Waldron, I'm really excited, and really hyped about it. I've been hearing now. This is I won't believe it till I see it. I've been hearing that Pete is letting Shane just have full reins of the offense. Again, I'll believe that when I see that. But if that's the case, then I'm even more hyped and excited about this hiring than I already was. Sean McVay was hyping this guy up like no tomorrow and talking about how he's his right-hand man. So if that's the case, Seahawks might have gone away with a good robbery here. So,
yeah.
So yeah, I'll be looking to see what it looks like. I've been hearing all about up tempo and everything being all about tempo, which is good. And Russell Wilson always plays his best football when it's up tempo. You look at the end of first halves, end of games. That's usually when he puts up his best stats. Is when it's just tempo, tempo, tempo. So the more we do that, the better. The next thing will be replacing KJ Wright. Now today I did hear KJ Wright is still open to returning to Seattle. I don't know if Seattle feels the same way, but at this point it looks like the Hawks are for sure moving on from KJ Wright. So, 10 plus years of him being our outside linebacker. That's, I know he's getting up there in age, but man, he still had one of, if not his best season last year. So it's going to be something to keep an eye on to see how we're going to replace that.
Were Bobby Wagner and KJ Wright drafted the same year? Are they the same age or what?
KJ was a year before Bobby. So, yeah, Bobby was 2012, yeah. KJ was 2011. So KJ came in and replaced famous draft picked Aaron Curry, who did a lot for the Seahawks.
Oh, number 3 overall pick. I remember that.
Yeah, that was a great one. But one of my friends out there, I'm not going to name names, but he knows who he is if he watches this, had his jersey. I think he still has his jersey, so you know who you are if you're watching this. But yeah, so replacing KJ Wright, that's the second thing. So then the third thing that I'll be looking forward to is what the secondary will look like. We know we got Jamal Adams and Quandre Diggs back there, but outside of DJ Reed, we don't know for sure what the cornerbacks are going to look like. Although it could end up being, you love it, you love this. It could end up being two former 49ers just shutting down wide receivers for the Seahawks, and DJ Reed and Ahkello Witherspoon. So we'll see how that goes.
That seems to be what's the trend for you guys. Yeah. So I have no doubt that it's going to be Reed and Ahkello Witherspoon starting at cornerback for you, and they're probably going to be good.
I hope so.
One of them already is.
Yeah. DJ Reed really has taken off in Pete Carroll's system, so Ahkello, he can get another chance here. So, yeah, so those are the three things I'm looking forward to in training camp: the offense, replacing KJ Wright, and then the secondary overall. So the three players I'll be keeping an eye on throughout training camp and really preseason and into the season as well. First one, Robert Ndiche. This is a guy that back in the 2016 draft, I want to say, I really wanted this guy back in that draft. He turned out to be a bit of a bust, obviously, for the Cardinals, but I think coming here,
defensive tackle?
Defensive tackle, I believe, yeah.
I remember too. I remember you talking about him, actually.
Yeah, so I'm happy we have him now. I think that it's got a good chance to, get a second chance, a fresh start, and get on the right track here. The Seahawks defensive line overall this year, they have a lot of depth there. I've been saying that I feel like we have the most depth we've had since 2013. Now, I'm not saying it's as good as 2013. Don't twist that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying we have the most depth, though. So
yeah, I would agree with you. You got guys. I mean, you got backups and backups to backups that are all pretty quality. Yep. So they won't be tired.
So yeah, definitely keep an eye on Robin Ndiche, hoping he can kind of have that second chance, rebirth his career here. Then the other guy, keeping on the topic of when we're talking about the secondary, Trey Brown, the rookie we drafted. This guy is physical as all. I'm looking forward to him. He's actually a little too physical. That was a bit of a knock on him, actually. He's too physical. He had a lot of penalties in college, but I think Pete, being kind of the defensive back whisperer he is, can really utilize that and use it to his advantage. So I'm really looking forward to Trey Brown. And I know we're saying that Ahkello Witherspoon could end up being, obviously, probably week one will end up being the starting cornerback opposite DJ Reed, but I wouldn't be surprised if by midseason Trey Brown takes over that job. So, and then the third player we're looking forward to is Alex Collins. Now, this is a guy that was on his second tour with Seattle, a running back. Originally drafted Seattle, then left, went to Baltimore, and suddenly became good. Came back and actually did decent in the games he played last year. Obviously, without Carlos Hyde, we don't know who's going to be the number 2 to Chris Carson. It probably will be DJ Dallas, who I'm also high on. I love DJ Dallas, but I wouldn't be surprised if Alex Collins puts his name in there as well to possibly be Chris Carson's, backup or the 1A, 1B that we did with Carlos Hyde last year. So yeah, Robin Ndiche, Trey Brown, Alex Collins. Those are my 3 to watch for.
Got it. I've noted, and I will keep them in mind.
All right, so with that, we'll get to predictions now. So we're going to start, this first one, we're going to start with the NFC and AFC East. So, Marcus, what do you got for the AFC East?
Okay, I'm going to go, I'll go 4 to 1. I think this is kind of an easy one, but who knows? Mm-hmm. They never end up being easy. But I'll go Jets in fourth place at 5-12. Dolphins in third place at 8-9. Patriots second place 10-7. Bills first place 12-5.
12-5. Okay.
Yeah, I think, and just a real quick overview of all that. I think the Jets will be good in the future, like Rob Saleh, but they won't have it this year. For the Dolphins, I think Tua is a little bit meh at quarterback, but they're very well coached, so they're gonna hang around. But I don't know if they're talented enough to get over 500. Mm-hmm. Patriots, I think, will be quite a bit better this year. They signed a lot of good talent, and I think Mac Jones will start around game 5. And as for the Bills, I think Josh Allen takes another step forward, even if the Bills maybe aren't quite as good as they were last year overall. But still a really good team, obviously, 12-5.
All right, well, we actually have the same order, so I'll kind of do the same. We have different records, though. So I've got the Jets. Sure. I've got them at 6-11. That might be a little too much maybe, but I have confidence in Robert Saleh, what he can do out there. I think Zach Wilson will be good. So, yeah, I got them at 6-11. I got the Dolphins, 10-7. I think Tua, I think he takes a little bit of a step forward. I know he struggled last year, but I think he'll start to kind of rein in the NFL life and start to get better and progress. Dolphins still have a really good defense, too, so I got them at 10-7. Then I got the Patriots at 11-6. I too think Mac Jones will start sometime by midseason. He'll start out with Cam Newton, but I mean Cam's a wash. Let's be honest. So eventually Mac will take over. So I got them at 11-6. Unfortunately, then the Bills. I got the Bills at 15-2. I think Josh Allen's taking another step forward, and with that, the Bills will take another step forward. Like the Bills to me are the team this year in the NFL. So yeah, I got them at a good 15-2. So. Because they're also going to be getting guys back.
I that they're not the team. I just don't know that they'll just dominate and win every game. I think it's going to be one.
They are getting some key guys back though that they were missing because of COVID last year, especially in that defense.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
So yeah, so Jets, Dolphins, Patriots, Bills. So we both agree on that, on the order of that. All right, now NFC. What do you got for the NFC East?
Man, this one is tough. Very tough, actually. But I have my order here, and I'm settling on it. The Giants, 4th, 6-11. Eagles, 3rd, 8-9. And I got both the Cowboys and the Redskins at 9-8.
Wait, the what? The what?
Oh my God!
we're gonna get canceled now.
The Washington football team, whatever they're going to be. Yep, I wrote down the wrong name here. I got both the Cowboys and the Washington football team at 9-8, but I got the Cowboys winning it. I know that's weird. One of these years they got to do something. Just one of these years, and I think Dak's going to be healthy. They're going to somehow do it. And I think if the Redskins had I think if the Washington football team had a little bit more settled quarterback situation, I would easily pick them. I just don't know if Fitzpatrick's going to make it a whole season, and I don't know anything about Taylor Heineke. As for the Eagles, I don't really like Jalen Hurts as an NFL quarterback. I think he's a good fantasy quarterback. I don't know if he's a good NFL quarterback. Giants, I think Daniel Jones is he's not much. Their coach isn't much. They're easily number 4, if you ask me, but that's all I got.
Well, we definitely are different on this one. So in 4th, I've got the Cowboys at 7-10. I'm sorry, but just you say one of these years I got to put together. I feel like Cowboys fans say that every single year. That's just one of those. I'll believe it when I see it if they're actually gonna be good or not. So yeah, Cowboys 7-10. They have the talent there, sure, but Mike McCarthy. Yeah, I'm just not sold. Then I got the Washington football team in 3rd at 8-9. I don't see them really any better or any worse than last year. So that defense is still going to carry them most of the way. And Antonio Gibson, I'm sure he'll take another step forward as their running back. Great player there. But yeah, like I said, the quarterback situation just still isn't figured out. And I've got the Giants. I've got the Giants in 2nd. I think the Giants are going to be a sneaky team this year. I got them at 10-7. I think they might surprise people this year. Saquon coming back. I think Daniel Jones he's buffed up apparently. I think he might take a step forward. They've got some weapons out there now too. So that defense has still been pretty decent too. So I got them at 10-7. I do have the Eagles winning the division at 11-6. Apparently, I'm more of a Jalen Hurts believer than you. I really like Jalen Hurts. I think he's going to be exactly what the Eagles need. And the Eagles also they have a great defense as well still. And all they really needed was someone who's competent at quarterback. And I feel like they'll get that and then some with Jalen Hurts. So I think that Jalen will be able to help them win that division at 11-6. So.
I went through so many scenarios while I was doing this at work, and I could have went it the same way you did. This division is it's the toughest one to pick. If you ask me.
It'll definitely be better than it was last year, I'll say. So.
Oh yeah, it's not going to be that bad, that's for sure. And I could easily see the Giants taking a step forward. I just, in my eyes, I don't see it, but who knows? It'll be something to watch, that's for sure.
Yep, we'll see. All right, so that takes us to our last segment. So during the regular season, you'll see our last segment will be doing our our top 5 teams power rankings, a quick thing. We're not going to explain why we have the teams ranked where we have them, but that's what we're going to do. So we're going to start that now with this segment. We're going to do our top 5 quarterbacks. So we're just going to give our top 5 quarterbacks, no reasoning, no defense, just put them out there. So Marcus, go ahead. What's your top 5 QBs?
Okay, 5. Thomas Brady, 4, Russell Wilson, 3, Josh Allen, 2, Aaron Rodgers, and 1, Patrick Mahomes. And I'm throwing an honorable mention to Justin Herbert. I think he's going to have a huge year.
Okay, I like it. All right, well, I won't question it. I'm not allowed to question it or ask questions, so we'll just get into mine. Number 5, Russell Wilson. Number 4, Josh Allen. Number 3, Tom Brady. Number 2, Patrick Mahomes. And number 1, wherever the heck he's going to play, Aaron Rodgers.
Wow. Well, there you go.
And I have 2 dark horse that could work their name in there this year. Obviously, as I've mentioned, I'm a big fan of this guy, Jalen Hurts. I think he's going to be a lot better than people think. So Jalen Hurts could be a dark horse. He could work his name into the top 7, top 5 conversation. And Matthew Stafford, I think by the end of the season, we'll be considering him in the top 5.
I wanted to put him in there too. It's tough. I don't want him to be great, but I have a bad feeling.
Yeah, and McVay's offense, I have a bad feeling too. So.
Yep.
All right, well, there you have it. That's our first episode for Rival Talk for the 2021 season, kicking off training camp. Yeah, Marcus, thank you for joining. I'll close it out here just with a quick outro here, but thank you for joining. Good to be doing this again. Look forward to the season getting going.
Yes, I cannot wait. Always a pleasure. It's good to talk to you.
Yep. All right, take care. Talk to you next time.
You bet. Bye.
All right, so thank you to Marcus for joining us. It's good to be back. Before I do my little outro, just a reminder, giving away a $50 Amazon gift card to get to 50 subscribers. Just share this. You can share this video or share the channel, whichever one you want to do. Make sure you tag me wherever you share it on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Share it and tag me, and be sure to be subscribed to the channel as well to be entered. So, so there you have it. Kicking off training camp, Rival Talk 2021. Here we go. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. And as always, go Hawks!